All right, everybody. Welcome to Tales from the Flipside. This is episode 232. We are talking, I guess, SDCC, right? This is a couple days before. We're doing SDCC. We got a market report. We got light on the news, but we're gonna fill your time. Thank you for appreciate coming out and watching us do our thing. So let's get to it. Hi guys. Hey, everybody's back. I know this is July is like weird. It's like I think everybody's just on vacation for the whole month. I know I just came back. Leg was doing things. We're all kind of just crazy. Um, but yeah, we are SDCC. T minus what Chris? 3 days? 2 days? 3 days?
I mean, you could technically go by there and pick up badges. Like if you live in the area you're attending, you could be picking up badges today.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Big Clutch got down there today, and he did the. I know he started getting his stuff and sent us the maps, like for the COVID. They're still doing the COVID check. I think they're going to make us wear masks, but they got the COVID checkpoints. There's like 5 of them or something. Which, if you've ever been to San Diego, it's a zoo. Picking anything up, getting a badge, doing anything like that. So there's other ones. I think there's one one of the by Hotel Circle. So I'm headed down Wednesday, and I'll definitely be getting off the freeway up there to try to do that. And yeah, so I'll be up there trying to get trying to get that, and then figure out the badge after that. So
Are they doing the retailer summit this year? Like the dinner, the crazy dinner they always do? Is it they do that? I'm sorry, I can't remember if they do.
it's usually not at San Diego.
Okay.
It changes around.
Okay.
I don't remember at all where it was this year. The last couple of years, as we all know, has been kind of weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not there. There should be plenty of exclusive stuff, but right about now is when you start getting a little bit more of, I don't know, not leaks, but like advertisements for what's coming out. Like Super 7's been slowly getting through some stuff. I didn't see what they announced today. I wasn't that happy with some of their stuff. I mean, it's fine, but there was a pretty cool lino that they're gonna drop that like changes colors and stuff. It's actually pretty nice, and depending on which day, how I feel, what I've picked up, and if I have room in my backpack, then I might grab one of those. But then they drop some GI Joe stuff, but it's all Cobra stuff, I think, if I believe the first video. So I usually look forward to Super 7 stuff because they've done so much Masters of the Universe in the past, and Garbage Pail Kids, things that there's like a My Pet Monster thing, which is kind of cool and nostalgic because I remember having one, but it's like it's like a fig. It's not the whole big stuffed animal thing.
Are you driving down or are you flying?
I drive. I'm less than 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably leave at 9 and hope to get there by noon on Sunday. Grab the passes, at least hopefully dump my car off. I don't know for sure if I can check into the hotel or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to just stay 2 nights, but I was like, man, I'm not going to feel like leaving on Friday. So I just extended my hotel to Saturday. So I'll be there Wednesday to Saturday. I don't get to stay as long as Chris. So
cool.
Yeah, so I guess on that note, I'll be there from tomorrow morning until Monday morning. So yeah, if you see me around, come say what's up, holler at me. I'll be on the floor or either working some type of station the entire con. Yeah, I mean, it should be fun. Looks like there's a bunch of cool stuff. The exclusive portal just closed yesterday, so if you got an exclusive, you probably found out about it today. Perfect segue.
I got you all day.
And so that's going to be like the stuff that's exclusively through that's being released through the portal. So like signings and stuff like that, Funko related stuff. I think some Hasbro related stuff as well.
Oh, Paul's gonna be mad. He got NECA turtle stuff. So
yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty of flip value in a lot of these exclusives. So yeah, if you're there, be on the lookout. I think somebody from CBSI puts out a list of all of the things that you should be on the lookout for. That's a good resource for when you're walking the floor. and CGC is doing a bunch of like signings from through the CGC. They actually have 2 booths this year. They have like a regular, like kind of like Blue Label, big CGC booth, and then they have their signature series booth where you go grab witnesses and things like that.
Oh, nice.
But the cool thing that they're doing is like they're doing the in-house signing, so you basically drop your books and pay the fee, or proactively pay the fee, so you don't have to carry cash. That was the big issue historically, is that you had to pay the fee in cash because that's what went to the creator, and then you had to like fill out forms and stuff. So you can do all that stuff proactively through the CGC site now, which I've already printed, labeled my books, window bagged, all the stuff that I have with me. Sean's got some of my stuff that we're bringing down. I'll just need to make sure I take care of that when I get there. But we'll say it's gonna be fun overall for everybody who's gonna do the 10.
Can somebody grab me this NECA thing? This NECA thing?
Sure, any left? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, grab me one and I'll pay you guys. I got a guy, an old dude I used to work with. He loves the thing. That's like his favorite movie that came out. He's what, 60 something years old now, 65, 66. He grew up on the thing, man.
Okay, so what's it like when it comes down to, are you waiting in line for these individual exclusives? What's going on with that?
In many cases, yes. Like, I know, like, Sean has historically done a lot more of the line waiting for cool shit. But, like, it can definitely be, like, a minute where you're waiting for, like, everything from, like, those exclusives that could be, like, a skate deck, comics. You typically want to get in there on preview night if you can. If your intent is to acquire exclusives.
What day is preview night?
Preview night's Wednesday night.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the night you want to get in there because all that shit will be gone. Anything that was worth having will be gone by Thursday.
So that's the other thing. So if I'm my guy who's looking for cool shit to sell on the secondary, on eBay, Facebook, whatever. What are the top things that we think? I mean, like brands, like, right? We go to Baltimore, right? And if it's a big name like Todd McFarlane, everybody's running a Todd McFarlane booth to get the latest drop on a new Spawn book or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. Do we have like a list of like, oh, these are the things I would look for? I mean, not saying you personally, but like, in the past.
I generally do. To be honest, we did. I feel like we did a better job coming up the list when we still used the Google Plus. Mm-hmm. It's a better form. We were a little more condensed in there. So there was always good lists. To me, I mean, I know, especially in the comic world, I know what's popular. I know what sells. I know by looking at something, for the most part, if it's going to be, and I'm not talking about a weird indie book that might take off, but like a little bit more known stuff. Just you have an eye for what's going to sell, or like anything that's numbered. If you've got something under 50, I pretty much would buy it. Even if maybe you're not making much money on eBay that weekend. Mm-hmm. I mean, you never know what's going to pay off down the road.
Yeah, like those skate decks, the ASM skate decks came out. That did pretty well on a flip. I mean,
yeah. And I got the only problem, dude. I keep buying them, and I'm smart about the skate decks I buy. The problem is I hate selling them.
Yeah.
So like,
I get it. I definitely get it.
Some go on the wall. I've got some Skeletor on the wall. Yeah. So that was this was the last live SDCC. That's a Han Solo. Mm-hmm. And nice. Does awesome stuff, mostly jewelry and stuff, but we'll do the skate decks and things like that. And but that one clearly was for me. Should have brought 2 because they tend to go up. I hate carrying shit, so I'm way more into like a backpack and a handbag, even if it's a bigger handbag. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me like to get too much stuff. Too much toys. I mean, that's why I honestly don't dabble in toys as much as I would like to. Like, you can already see this place is full of mostly comic books, plenty of toys and shit too. But like the toy boxes are getting harder and harder to store, and especially out here where I live, it gets pretty hot. So it's not, the garage is not viable long-term storage for plastic things or comics or something like that. Not out here. The cold doesn't get too bad, but it gets like, it's been like 107 for the last 5 days in a row. So that's not, that garage. I barely want to walk out there, much less keep cool stuff out there.
We need to hire you like a personal assistant just to carry your shit.
Dude, yeah, I know. Yeah.
They're called kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Well, see, I still want to carry my own shit instead of that. But yeah. So stuff that's the lower numbered stuff, and you start to hear about it, and the smart thing to do is honestly you just ask if they have, hey, how you guys doing? Do you do any exclusives? You got anything numbered here? Sometimes they'll be like, yeah. And then preview night, I love preview night because I just run around with chicken with his head cut off, like, you know what I mean? Oh, hey, good to see you. Yep, sure, you're gonna be here tomorrow. Cool. All right, bye. Because I want to do what I want to do, and I only got so many hours. I'm not sure what time it starts. I'm usually a little late because I used to come down from work on a Wednesday.
6
a lot of
PM,
times
I believe.
it's it. Oh, geez.
6 to 9.
6 to 9. Yeah, see what I mean? There's not. Sorry if I'm not catching up too much. If I don't see you before, it's in 6 to 9. Yeah. So just to find stuff that's anything that's limited, especially limited when it's something hot. Any Marvel limited stuff, Star Wars limited stuff. Like when I went to Star Wars Celebration, I find out there there's this watch. They only made 77 of them. And I'm like, they're like, oh, we've already sold a bunch of them, and it's like the first day. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take one. Like, it's Star Wars, and you only made 77 of them, right? There's no way it's never gonna be $100 watch.
So are there individual lines for each item?
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So
it depends, though. I mean, go ahead, Chris, and then I'll. Wow.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is that there's typically, and so the thing is with the exclusive portal, a lot of times you have to, to be able to get your like initial place in a lot of those lines, it's through the exclusive portal. Okay. And they give you like numbered slots, and you basically wait in line and shit like that. And then if they don't sell out of something, then it's open up to the public, and anybody else who's left in line can just come up and buy it. And the issue that they had historically was like there wasn't a limit on the number of exclusives you could sign up in the portal. So people would sign up just for everything and then not even care about the shit that they want in some cases and just not show up to get it. So like people who actually wanted that thing would have to wait until they after like 2 hours when they finally open it up to the general public. And so now you get like a limited number of credits in the system. You get 12 credits to use towards things in the exclusive portal to like basically put raffle tickets in. And some things carry more weight than others. Like, the big signatures and whatnot are going to blow through way more of the, the slots or tickets that you have available than other things in the portal. But yeah, so that's typically how most like the exclusives start. And then, but then there's also a whole different set of rules for things where they didn't bother going to the exclusive portal. So you just got to blitz over to that booth and get there and ask for it, before it's gone.
It's like blood sport. Oh,
really, yeah.
It sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it can be brutal. And just like any of the cons, you could be paying to be like, hey, that thing costs $10. Go wait in that line. I'll give you here's 10 and here's 20. Even if it's not like a long line, just because like they don't want you to have more than one. There's a big controversy from that Black Mass book because they printed like it was either 45 or 50 of them, and let's just say a few of us got more than one, and we were selling for $600 or $800 on eBay the same day, and it was just the
pictures for
perfect
eBay
storm. Yeah, the P Hood got like 5 of them, right? And we're just like, okay, and we're just immediately start. I forget. I don't think it was We Can Never Go Home. I think it's another one. And it was a badass cover, but anything that's limited and it was numbered. And I know that's a thing nowadays, but this is, I don't know, 6 years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't know. Like it, honestly, there wasn't that many books that were like numbered exclusively like that or had COAs. I mean, some companies have done it for a long time. And we all know the 90s books, it'd be like one of only 15,000 printed. You know what I mean?
Collector's edition.
Yeah. So any of that stuff. And then other things, there's not a line, it's just a booth. Like if we know, Boom's got, like I've got, I usually have it sitting up. But I've got so it's a Jenny Frisian 11 Stranger Things comic.
Oh yeah,
And it's real numbered, and it came with it's absolutely gorgeous. I'll go pick it up in a minute. And so I was like, and that's another thing, you just look at it and you're like, oh shit, like that's gonna sell. And I forget how limited it is, and I think they were all signed, and the print came with it, and it was like $50 for both or something. And that's just not for something that limited. It's not. I haven't checked. I think that poster sells for a lot, because I feel like I looked it up for the other day for some reason on eBay. But honestly, I mean, I threw it in a frame because I like it. I used to sometimes I put stuff up in the back right there because I use that wall when I'm on the show. I put stuff there, the bottom part where the Misfit still is, and I used to put it up more. But yeah, just really cool stuff. And then it's fun to buy stuff that you like. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna figure out a way to pay for it with the crap that I buy, but I'm coming home with a bunch of cool shit I like for myself too. It's and it's a good time, but it's a zoo. That's why at first I was like Wednesday. Well, preview nights always definitely want to go if you can. Thursday I like because you still can get a lot of exclusives. It's nowhere near as busy, and it's just so Thursday is my favorite day. The only thing is they do different things on different days. Some people might release something, but only they'll have something different for each day. So it's like if you don't do all of them, you don't have the ability to get them all. And also, I'll be honest, it can get a little tiring. Like you're on your feet for days at a time.
Yeah.
And stepping on feet, people with their freaking winged costumes. If you're a person who wears wings to San Diego Comic-Con, F you. Right? People walking around like this, there's not enough space between people to walk like that. All right. And then people want to take a picture with your stupid wings. And then there's 15 of us, it takes 15 minutes to get through a whole aisle because you wanted to stand in the middle of the floor and wear wings.
Man, people said it was cool, so that's why I'm gonna do it, man. People told me it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like as somebody who is staff at the con, so one of the things is if you can avoid bringing the side-by-side stroller, invest in one that does the double stack thing where you have one child in front of the lower section and one on stadium seating up behind it, because now you're taking up so much valuable space trying to get through the sections while you're pushing and let's be real about it too, if your kids are still stroller age, get a babysitter. They're not getting anything out of the experience of being there.
Get them,
I want
kids. They can set in line for you.
Yeah, I'm all about kids being a part of the experience and things like that. But there's a certain cutoff where it's you're just complicating matters, and you're not doing yourself any services by pushing around a side by side stroller with a 2-year-old and 3-year-old. They don't remember what they're seeing. You want pictures of them in costumes. They could give two shits about what's happening.
Yeah, so, a 1-year-old's first birthday at Disneyland. That's for you. That's not for them.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's
it's close to home for Dino.
And then, and also, okay, I know, I guess we don't have to give this advice to anybody that's actually paying attention to us because they already know what they're looking at. Yeah. But if you do have kids, watch what they're doing. There's a lot of expensive shit that they're not supposed to be touching.
Yeah,
and as a person who has sold comics, the knock over wall, and as someone who's sold at cons, when you see people that just don't have any care or treatment towards, especially the comics, which is something that can bend really easily and can cut the value in half in about 1 second, it just goes, can drive you crazy. Just what I was kind of my parent kind of had a family where my dad would say, "Hey, you want to go look at their stores today?" I'm like, "All right," and we just go look through shit. And so, but also same thing in antique stores and auctions and things like that. I was raised that look, don't touch, or either be very gentle if there's don't touch it if there's not a reason to touch it. Don't touch it just because you want to touch it. So I don't know. Any parents can please have their kids not touch people's things. Yeah, and it's hard also, because it looks like kid stuff, but it's clearly for us adults. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, and also too, and this is for the adults attending. Another podcast mentioned this point, and it shouldn't need to be said at this point. It's a bad stereotype, but stereotypes are based on a certain element of truth. You were about to be in a room with 250,000 people, deodorant, personal hygiene, Like,
I was waiting for someone to say it.
I mean, no, it's honestly true. Like, you will have people who are just like
right.
You
Dude,
knew what you were getting into.
It's a 3-2-1, right? 3 hours of sleep, 2 meals, and 1 shower. That's the 3-2-1 method.
You'd think people with the money to spend on San Diego Comic-Con wouldn't smell homeless. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, they've been saving up all year for this, man.
It's not quite. San Diego's usually not. The one reason it's not quite as bad is because it's supposed to be 75 all week, and it's 75 year round in San Diego. So it's not. I didn't go to Heroes Con. I bet there's some stinky
swamp ass Florida,
right? But because I've been there. I've been there before.
Yeah.
Or the Florida ones, and even
Indianapolis is.
Yeah.
You know,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, you're absolutely right. The cost itself is going to, I don't want to say like weed out, but it does cause a certain element of people who aren't thinking about those sort of things are not spending the $76.50 a day it is to be in that con. Plus the potentially, if you get a good hotel, $1,000 a night. Plus it starts to add up real fast. Like, and there's a reason why certain elements of people are the only ones who are really can afford to attend. Like, if you're a lifer and you've just been going, and you live in San Diego, you're probably fine. Military, there's ways for you to get free tickets. But then you get the industry folks and stuff like that, and they're there just industry and industry adjacent. It's just they're trying to get their career off the ground. So again, those are those cosplayers who are like, I need to show off how intricate of a cosplay I can make to show off, so that somebody hires me to potentially model or maybe get a job working in props department or costume design. So people are trying to use it as that method. I mean, the con is getting more and more less about individuals who are there for the love of comics and popular, and the popular artists.
Yeah, that's definitely not just for comics. This might be called Comic Con. It is not.
It's Connection Con.
I mean, no, it really is.
Connection Con. It's true.
I mean, that's where. I ran into Jesus Christ, Scott Snyder, right after he had basically sold. I think it was Undiscovered Country. Like, he had just basically gotten that option, and that happened at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, a lot of those things are everybody's in the building. The Amazons and the Netflixes of the world are in the building and have representation there. They're not only trying to promote and push their new stuff, but they're taking meetings with people because, there were celebrities I was running into who were not there, hadn't done anything of any merit in the geekdom realm ever, and hadn't done anything new in 3 or 4 years, but they were using it as a means of jumpstarting their career. They were like, oh, all these people are going to be in the building. This is a great opportunity for me to get a sit down with someone and, try and put my name in the hat for the next Marvel movie or the next, Amazon series or the next Netflix series, whatever. So there's a lot of wheeling and dealing. Los Angeles isn't super far away, so it's a very easy trip for anybody to come down from that area to try and make that connection and, be a part of something and rejuvenate their career.
Cool.
And Wednesday, are actual dealers are their booths ready to go?
For the most part, yes.
Yeah. If you've made it far enough in life that's the con you're selling at, because you gotta. It's tough to make that at some of these cons, especially here, and especially for the reasons like Chris just said about maybe not all comic fans. Most of those people are actually more responsible, so they're generally set up. But that does not mean there's not a guarantee they're putting their exclusives out. Some of the people, especially some of the artists, might not even know a community. We could have one hangout with 20 of us, or just the ones of us that do this show, where we're like, oh shit, we just found out this artist is doing this, and that person might not know that there's 100 people gunning for their deal. And they might be just sitting on the table on Wednesday, and they might not even necessarily know that they have one of the hottest commodities out there because they're not in the community that's decided that they're going to go buy them all. So, yeah.
I'll say this also before. Okay, sorry.
No, go.
I was going to say, before we segue off of this topic also, one thing to keep in mind is that with getting a booth, so kind of piggybacking off of Sean's point, is that to even get a booth at San Diego at this point, you have to be grandfathered in, which means that somebody has to decide that they no longer want to attend and they sell you their slot to get like so on the paper. The name of who is actually the person who is paying for it never changes. They may be like, oh, we're now called so-and-so because that's how they were able to hand off their booth. Like basically be like, okay, now this person can use my slot or I'm selling my slot to this person. But that is not a con that you can just be like, even if you can afford to get there, you may not have the ability because it's like trying to get, tickets, like, season tickets to be a member of, Green Bay Packers, like, season ticket holders.
Or doing a Masters tournament when it's like 1 in 1 billion or hitting a lottery.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like you don't get an opportunity to get in there. It's like you're being sold like a cab medallion in New York City. It's like that's what it's like to really get in there. It's like, oh, I'm no longer doing this anymore. I will bestow this blessing upon you for 10 G's. And I mean, it really is big money that takes it to get in there.
And people don't realize too the amount of stuff you have to have for an inventory for that day. Like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna bring all my books and it's just like your one table because that's gone in what 20, 30, the whole day that all your boots just wiped out and like the next day you still got 4 days or 3 days or whatever to reload. Like
did Mile High ever stop going? I know we talked about it a few years ago.
They called it, and they had their booth was freaking like massive.
Huge. It was huge.
Yeah, it was massive, and so I don't know. He took off the women's underwear, and or maybe he put it back on to complain and quit. He rage quit SDCC, but about and it was such a big booth, and it's like they didn't probably need to do all that. It's like they've got so much inventory that they'd have. I did kind of like it was more like filing cabinets than long boxes. So they were like, so you pull these metal drawers out and like to dig. And also if you're on an aisle, just so think about it this way, you're digging on a table, but let's say you got to pull a drawer out and you got a backpack on and you, and you're out in the aisle and people are trying to get around you. It's I wouldn't even stop. I mean, I might, if there's something that just came up hot or something, I might check that, the drawer in the C's or whatever I was looking for. And so you might try that, but like they'd have their big banners and their big presence, and it's like, and I can't imagine. I mean, they needed a semi to get all that over there.
Oh no, they did. Like, I mean, as somebody who was there and witnessed the setups for like Alex Ross and Neil Adams, them shits come in on a semi. Like Alex Ross has a branded semi truck. Like it straight up says it's got his insignia and logo on the side of it, and it is a goddamn 18-wheeler that wheels in because anybody who's ever seen his like setup at a major con. It is a art gallery in the middle of the con. Like there's red carpet, there's lithographs on walls, there's beautiful women who know nothing about comics being like, what would you be interested in buying? Like it is an experience to go into an Alex Ross booth. And the man, I honestly don't think has set foot in a con in like 10 years. Like he actually like has like I think social anxiety and he doesn't even come to the cons. So all that shit's pre-signed and ready to go and graded, and it is just 9.8s, nothing lower than a 9.8, and all of its exclusives for the last like 10 years are sitting in a case, and you go, I want, the new Batman, back when Batman 50 The Wedding was a thing, that was like 3 years ago. There was all the covers that he did, you could buy sets of them.
Nice.
And so that was a thing.
Carter, you gonna go one day, Carter?
That feels like going to the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah, kind of
hearing about it and like the experience might not.
I don't like that many people. I think I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool, but I think I'd be tired of people at their day one. Like I get a little antsy on Saturdays when it's packed when we're doing selling at a booth. I can't imagine just going and like it's like Disney, right? Just standing in a line to get to another line, or hey, I want to go here, and it takes 20 minutes to get across the hall because it's so fucking massive.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we've been leaning into like the like craziness of it, but the experience is worth it. Even if you only do it one time in your life. The experience is worth it because even outside of like walking the floor, like it's a convention. So there are breakout rooms all over the convention hall that are doing stuff like, the when they did the 20th anniversary of Hocus Pocus, they had a breakout session. When they did, like a remembering Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all the cast was there, a majority of the cast was there. They were in a breakout room, Critical Role, the cast of like all of that stuff is like, it is there also, and if you are a fan of that thing, I mean, Last podcast on the left did a live podcast from San Diego Comic-Con. Batman on Batman. It's in Schmocon and all that stuff that Adam Smith does. Like and of course with the new Clerks 3 coming out, he's actually immediately after the big Marvel event, so it's gonna be super easy to get into to see Clerks 3 related content because everybody's just gonna clear out after Marvel's done. So that's the easiest thing to get into will be to get into Kevin Smith stuff because it'll be right after Marvel's done doing their thing. But no, it really is an experience, and I'm fortunate that my significant other's going for the first time with me to this one because I've been telling her about it for years, but it doesn't do it justice. You really need to be there, and it's not only just a con because most other cities don't come alive when their cons are going on. New York don't change because New York's New York. Baltimore don't change because it's Baltimore. Charlotte don't really change for heroes. San Diego changes. It is a different city. The whole entire city is actively engaged in con adjacent stuff. I mean, there's a whole list of things you can do without ever even having a ticket. You can go do I think a couple years back, who was it? The big horror guys who do the low budget horror that make bank.
Trauma.
Blumhouse.
Oh.
Blumhouse and both New Line Cinema did a thing at the local one of the old antique theaters that's in right up the street in Gaslight District from the convention center, where they basically show trailers for all of the year's upcoming releases from them. So you got to see them, and then they still didn't show up online for almost 6 to 8 months. People got to see that new Halloween trailer almost 6 months before it dropped online.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, it's just an experience, and that again, you didn't need to have a ticket to the con. You just needed to find a way to get to get in line for that and be there. I mean, they gave out tickets in the con for people who knew where to go ask, but you just need to get in line and be there at that theater. I mean, Conan O'Brien, when he was doing his thing, he used to go live from San Diego Comic-Con. You could see a live show, filming of the Conan O'Brien show from the city. The city truly does come alive, and it is an experience. If you can just get there, it is worth being in the city for.
Yeah, I agree. It's downtown, and plus the weather's always great in San Diego. It's just a weird pocket in the world. There's only a couple places and so you're getting 65 to 80 year round. This is July. It's supposed to be 75 the whole weekend. So it's going to be nice down there. So also it's not going to be as hot if you're walking around with bags and backpacks and or you got to take a long walk because you're not able to get a car or Uber can't come close enough, or your hotels 3/4 or a mile away, or I don't know. I'm sure maybe I think mine's 0.9, but it just So it's a nice place to be. If you've never been to the Gaslamp, it's really, really fun place to be. There are a lot of good bars, a lot of good restaurants. Petco Park. I know there's been years where there's been major concerts down there, and then it's a mess at Petco. I haven't checked. I doubt I don't think Padres are usually home during the thing, but if not, Petco Park's a beautiful place to see the game. There's beaches, and I mean, just there are so many good places to eat and relax, or have a cocktail, or whatever you want to do. It's just a good place to be done when you can get rid of your stuff. You can walk outside the restaurants. You're going to be, you can take a load off, relax, eat some lunch, and it'll be somewhere nice. So that's the other thing. It is an expensive thing. Also for your time being there, the hotel rooms are quadruple the price of any other days of the year, and understandable, supply and demand. We figured that out. It is not cheap. Southern California period is not really a cheap place to enjoy food and drinks, but so it's good stuff. I'll screenshot the altitude. All right, man.
The Padres are away this week. I think they're in New York.
I'm pretty sure they almost always do that. I'm somewhat forgetful because they haven't had the real one in 3 years. They had the Thanksgiving one that nobody went to, and also I couldn't go to a Comic-Con on Thanksgiving. So
okay.
I was gonna say, Doc, I want to hit up Doc J's comment, the last one in the chat right now. So buying, again, you absolutely can buy, and you can make your net off of buying. I honestly go there with the intent of selling big books, because if you get in there on preview night, then people are looking to buy. They've got a whole lot of ideas about I'm going to make so much money this weekend, and you can unload because there's so much competition in the building. If you've got good books, you can damn near sell them at retail. Like people are willing to buy your stuff at retail because that con markup is real, and everything in there has got about a 10 to 20% uptick on it bare minimum, and they know that there's also competition. If they don't buy your book, somebody else will. Also, all the big auction houses are in the building, so if you never wanted to ship your super high value book over to Metropolis or Heritage or Comic Link, you can just hand it right to them. So that's another benefit as well as being in the house, being able to get in there, is that now you got to worry about shipping a $100,000 book or a $50,000 book or a $60,000 book to whoever. You can just hand it over to them and basically get a receipt for it right then and there. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Cool. So speaking of more SDCC stuff, I got this going. Whatnot. So they're doing the Ultimate Collab. They're doing Marvel and Whatnot are gearing up for dropping some insane giveaways. Link, do you know if Whatnot's actually setting up at SDCC? Actually going to set up the booth?
Yeah, I think it isn't listed on here. I forget. Skep's in here. He might.
Yeah, Skep.
He might know. I've been traveling for a month.
Yeah, Skep, let me know, dude. Let me know in the comments and what's going on.
Yeah, so that giveaway, that's definitely going to be insane. I mean, that's great stuff. I'm glad they're doing it. Having Marvel as a partner, I mean,
that's crazy.
Is there a bigger comic partner? I don't think so. I don't know if they're considered partners, what the deal is, but watching them grow.
It's big. I had my reservations in the beginning, but I mean, hey, it stayed around. It's not one of those 1 month, 2 month, 6 month things. So
so
they're doing big things over there.
Yeah. So that should be cool. I don't know. I don't
I
know
don't
if they
I
have
don't
a
wanna-
booth or not.
I don't know.
They should, but
I
like
don't
Chris
get
said,
moved,
it's hard. Oh, the Hero House thing. Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah, but cool. No, I mean, they get good stuff, and I mean, they're doing things in the community. People actually like them. Okay, so no big booth. So they're inside to promote with Marvel, but not actually at a big booth. So
it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's dope. I mean, I guess I've never seen a company just take it over like that, and I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just
I think they hit it at the right time.
Yeah, and they engulf themselves at the right cons too. You know what I'm saying? They just said we're gonna make our presence felt at the big boy cons, and
Yeah, I think they took the hype of everyone doing live sales on Facebook, and then people getting annoyed with eBay, and it was just the perfect storm.
Yeah,
no, seriously.
So that's going on. So shout out to those guys doing the thing. I took
a break. I'll be back in a week or two. Oh no, I'll say one thing. My favorite SDCC dude. Oh, I hope he's there. There's a guy that year after year stands at usually the same pillar in the middle of the con, dressed as Silent Bob, and he literally looks just like Kevin Smith. And actually, he's always thinner than Kevin Smith, so he probably looks more like Kevin Smith does now than when he was there. And he just stands there, literally just against the pole, just like chilling. And people just go up. They're like, take a picture. He goes, nodding his head, right? Like just full Silent Bob on him. So I hope that dude's there.
He's got to be the happiest person
every year. It just made me laugh, like watching the same dude stand on a pool every year. He pays whatever money he spends to stand on that Sam damn pool for 5 days.
He's probably happier than all of us combined.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So MCU just started. I guess I didn't really bring it up, but I heard Thor second week Thor isn't the greatest numbers, like the biggest downturn ever. But
I think 68% drop off, which normally you want to have 50% or less.
Yeah, so we're talking about Thor, She-Hulk. Obviously, I Am Groot dropping. So just the biggest breaks we've had since WandaVision. So it's going to be
what's next?
She-Hulk should wrap October. Black Panther.
She-Hulk will be the next of the live action stuff. With that happening, that's August.
Yeah, so Guardians, and then we got obviously. Theoretically, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Echo, Loki Season 2, Agatha, Ant-Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and the Marvel. So far. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, Marvel's a year out, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Sean, you figure out what you're going to do with those She-Hulks?
Oh, not yet. Shit, I should have already fixed them up. But
It's just
they're
taking
grading pretty fast
sell.
right now. I don't know about some of these grades that people are getting, but because there's some weird shit coming out of there right now.
Oh yeah, it's a little fugazi right now, but like it benefited me, so I ain't complaining. So
if you think you're doing modern high grade from the results I've seen, and I could be completely wrong about this, I might I usually don't, because a graded book to me is always going to sell. Not always, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
something that I'm bothering to submit is probably going to sell for more, whether it's graded or not. I a lot of stuff I might consider pre-screening right now, and rather than pay all the way to grade to get like an 8.0 or something on a book that's 9.6.
Yeah.
So pre-screen seems to have worked out well a couple of times that they've gone through for some people. So
yeah, you just got to plan accordingly.
Yeah.
Also, Signature Series has been like, they've been definitely like, because they have a guaranteed associated with how long it's going to take for Signature Series to make it through. Yeah, a lot of people have been getting really a lot of love on some comics that shouldn't get that. And I will personally admit that I've gotten some love on some books, and I'm like, 9.8, maybe not, but it's getting the Signature Series love. So it's a 9.8, but any other day of the week it probably would have been a 9.6, maybe pushing 9.4. But it's that Signature Series love.
That's funny. Okay, let's go a little bit into the market report. That's all I really had. I didn't have too much for news. We can go into market report. So Mr. Z's not here, but he gave us a wonderful old school kind of golden age, a lot of golden age market report stuff. Action 6, we talk about first appearance of Jimmy Olsen. $18,410 for a 7.0.
It's a high grade for that book.
It is a high grade
for sure.
that book. Yeah. Obviously you don't see too many of these. I didn't run the numbers. I'm a horrible market report person. But no, I mean, wow. And like, I don't know if that's down or up, but I mean, it's like Jimmy Olsen. Is it going to be a big boy book? I don't know. It's good. And then I got this.
Give me a second. I'll tell you. Let's go back to Jimmy Olsen real fast.
I got you.
Jimmy Olsen 7.0. It is down, but only like one of these sells a year, so it's kind of like, yeah. But in the average in 2021 was 26,400. One sold 26,400 from Heritage in 2021.
Yeah.
There are no sales prior to 2021 of a 7.0, and then you got this one right here selling at 18, 410. So,
what year is that? Is that late 30s?
38.
38. That's what I
So
thought.
we're gonna roll into that. So I rolled Action 10. So Action 10 is 2.5 for almost 29,000. 73 bids, man, crazy. So I mean, I talk about I kind of hamper and hop around Superman and Action Comics as it just doesn't move. But you start getting into the low number actions. I mean, you definitely.
Is it that they don't move, or that they just don't exist? I mean, like the census for like case in point, this book, there's 43 total between restored, unrestored. Like there's 43 total graded, period, with the highest example being a 9.0, and that's a 1 of 1 book. And then you're talking like most of these grades are like there's 2, there's 1, there's no more than 4 graded of any one of the at any grade point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like do they not move, or do they just not exist, so you just don't see them moving?
Both. I mean, they're just rare, and then when people get them, they just hold on to them. Yeah. I mean, Golden Age DC stuff is really scarce.
Yeah. I got a little Baffling Mystery 7, obviously an iconic pre-code horror book. 2.5 for 338 is not a bad deal to me. I mean,
that's pretty cheap.
It looks great too. I mean, it's not like it's destroyed. I mean, it looks pretty solid. I don't know what the back looks like, obviously, but
it's nice and bright for a 2.5.
Right, reds look red, greens are dark. I mean, that yellow box is pretty solid. So
yeah, that's a good deal there.
Yeah. This is an interesting lot. We used to pick these up like for like $20. Now Batman Adventures 1 through 35, whole run is like $828. So non-bagged and boarded. It looks like.
Oh man. For sure. Is that one of the Goodwill auctions?
It could be. No, this is off of eBay, but yeah.
At least they know which one to put on top.
Yeah, right.
Not that they put 77 in the listing, but not 12. There we go.
Right. Yeah. So
$35 shipping. You know they're going to wrap it in saran wrap and just send it.
100%.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you which 4 issues I want. You can keep the rest.
Yeah, right.
Well, just take the other issues and wrap them around those 4.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Use those as
like,
a liner.
I don't know how you're gonna ship this, but see how can you put the 12 back where it belongs and ship it, please?
Yeah.
Not put it on top or bottom.
Oh, this will be the one where it's shrink wrap and it's crushed into the top on the top and just mangled the shit of. Haven't seen this book in a while, right? Clone Wars 9.8, $8,200.
Yep. Yeah, that's
hard pass.
Yeah, I feel like Star Wars Celebration. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, that's one of the. I don't know. I don't think you could really lose long term on that. I don't know if that's where I'm putting 8,200, but if I got to pick a Star Wars book for 8,200, that might be it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like Star Wars Celebration did not move the needle with Star Wars like books like the equivalent over at Marvel would have done for its stuff. Like you see increased sales when Marvel makes an announcement. Star Wars Celebration, they talked about, people who were in the building saw Ahsoka related content. They saw Andor related content, and those books people didn't get excited, it feels like.
I got another one. I've had this book. I think I still have it in one of my boxes. Doom Patrol 99, man, 6.5 for $455, which seems cheap to me.
That's one of the only books I ever regret selling.
I got one if you want one. 100. It's like a mid grade, like maybe 4. I wouldn't even call it a 5. I'd call it like 3.5, 4 maybe. So I thought it was $100 a point back in the day, so like this would be like $650. I think it's down. I think, but
it's hella cheap. That's great price.
And it's a great cover too, man. It's cool. It's definitely cool. I got we talked about this book, so there was rumors, news, leaks of Doom maybe coming to the MCU. Obviously FF5 is out of most people's price ranges. Fantastic Four Annual 2 is a great backup, and obviously a 4.0 for $465. Not the worst deal, I don't think.
Yeah, I actually lost this auction. I bid $450.
Did you?
I was gonna say you're just bringing these up, right?
Yeah.
So, well, good try.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about it. Me, you, Sean, were talking about FF books with Doom on them. For the modern era, I didn't see that many when I was going through like images and stuff like of variants and low rent. Like I just it's just hard. Like I think Doom's one of those characters who's just it's so hard because his face is metallic. There's no real emotion. You know what I'm saying? It's usually just the like the tin can kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, did Granoff do a Doom? I don't know if Granoff did a Doom. I can't remember.
I'm not picturing one, but that doesn't mean he didn't. He's done a lot of stuff that.
Yeah.
He did. He's done a lot of regular covers too.
Yeah. But weird. Yeah. So it'll be interesting what Doom books come out of besides this FF5s in this book. It'll be interesting. Like, what scarce variant Doom book that nobody sniffed on. Back in 2000 something. Eerie won coverless for $350 one bid, so it might be a buy it now. But in the Eyes of the Tiger, it's a good splash page. I mean, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not the worst I've ever seen. So
I'm trying to figure out grading these things or worth it or not. Like I got a Spidey 101 coverless that I won for like $6 years ago. And
this one,
so I can't lose any money on it.
This is significant because it was considered the first horror comic, even though they consider Adventures into the Unknown the first ongoing horror comic. So,
yeah, I think too that Tony, our boy Tony, Sean, he had that Hitler splash cover off of whatever, I can't remember what book it actually was. But the cover was ripped off and Hitler was on a splash page. I think it just depends on the artwork or like he said, if it's a first horror or something of that nature or something, But
yeah,
I'm more of a splash page guy if I'm going to buy one. But like you said, I don't know if I'd grade it. And I think I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of coverless books. Like Would anybody here buy a coverless FF5? I don't know.
I'll buy anything for the right price.
Yeah. I mean, we always bring coverless, right? Coverless Batman books or coverless, other, single pages and stuff like that. So it just, I guess it's a niche market that people like to play around with. We had a bunch of these. Hawkman 4, 8.5, $2,600, 2660 roughly.
That feels down.
Yeah.
Still not. I mean, for DC, it's still not a bad investment. I
never-
like the cover. It's just not a good first appearance cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Zatanna, it's just like
Has Hawkman moved with the Black Adam trailers?
Honestly, I haven't looked.
I don't think so.
Nobody's paying attention to DC.
No.
I mean, dude, like DC keys, like you struggle. I mean, I traded it away. I mean, I mentioned last week that I traded away Green Lantern 8780 to pick up something else. But like, I was like, I sat on that book for years. Like, I sat on that book for at least 3 years, and yeah, it went from like a $500 book to like a $800 book. But still, my Marvel investments, I have $500 books that are worth like $3,000 now. So it's like,
I think DC was a smart buy right back in the 90s, 2000s, or like when we started getting into it, around like 2011. You know what I'm saying? Back when the internet kind of took off. Yeah. And like if you got them back then, you're just ripping them now because you sat on them for so long. It's like, it's like depreciated, right? Depreciated stock. Like, I'll just cash in now and turn my $100 investment into $2,600 and just say screw it. Whatever.
Yeah, and it's hard because, man, a lot of us that really actually love DC as far as the characters and comics and we grew up with and stuff like that. And I've definitely I'm a fan of both. It's fine. Marvel's been doing stuff like better for a while. We had so much hope, and so many of those movies just fell flat. And let's be honest. Unfortunately, I hate that we have to tie all speculation to like movies and TV instead of just comics. But at the same time, we've all made a bunch of money by doing it. So it's a two-way street there. But yeah, we never thought we'd get that version of Justice League. We knew Doomsday was coming, or some of us did, and did okay with that stuff. And you didn't quite. I was happy that I got to see those things on the big screen. I didn't hate Batfleck or any of that, but it's just I wish the world agreed with me. Yeah. So, and,
I mean,
after all the Dark Knights, it was hard. It was hard to come after that shit.
Yeah, and I'll say in response to like being like the movie and television freak on the show is that the issue is that like you don't get new readers out of good story arcs in comics. Like new people, like somebody starts an amazing story arc or does something new and inventive with a character, it's going to take years before that really pays off into new readers realistically. Whereas everybody wants like a lot of old fogies want to be like, oh well. We're not getting new readers out of, these television shows. I'm like, nah, false. Because anybody who owns a shop and is actually paying attention to what people are asking for, people are coming in because they enjoyed watching The Boys. And they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they get that book. But still, they came in because The Boys was good. People came in who didn't know about The Walking Dead because they saw the show and they're like, oh, man, this is really good. I want to know more about what happens in the comics. Like, the television stuff gets new readers out there. There's a bunch of people who gave two shits about Kamala Khan, who ultimately are just like, ask their comic book friends about Kamala, and they're like, oh, but her comic books are honestly they're better than, what the show was. Oh, I'm going to go invest some time and read her comics. Like, shops are getting buyers, and ultimately that is having a trickle-up effect where these big money books, because somebody who wasn't aware, who has disposable income, is now aware of that character thanks to television, books are moving, so.
Yeah, agree with all that.
I got Incredible Hulk 340, 1800. We're creeping.
Oof, yeah. That'd have been so easy if we had any idea.
Yeah, I sold that for $1,000 like a year ago.
I think 9.6 is the highest I ever had, but I've probably had 30 of them. I mean, 30 copies, obviously. I mean, I probably pressed 50 of them, it's a great cover. I always enjoyed it. It was always worth more than everything else in like the immediate space in that run. But like this percentage of markup, you could have got high grade near mint years ago, 20 to $40 all day.
That's one of the variants I got back. Remember with the Deadpool in the claws? I got that. I had that variant.
Number 7.
Yeah, I had that variant. That was one of the very first variants I ever bought getting backhand. I got it for like $20.
Nice.
No, this book brings up a valid point that we should probably dig into in the very near future. But now is the time to buy X-Men secondary and tertiary keys. Because we know they're coming. Like we've been saying this for years, but like now with mentioning mutation in Kamala Khan, and it's only a matter of time before this acquisition from Fox in one of their flagship character groups is going to get their day in the sun. And for a lot of people, X-Men 1 and Giant Size are not in their price range. You can still acquire these like individual character keys, like keys around Bishop, keys around Gambit, keys around Sabretooth, keys around X-Men. It's the time to buy.
I would love to buy Uncanny 266. I had one of those when we first started. Me and Lay, well, not when Lay was around, but when we first started F5, and I sold. That was the first book we sold, and I think it was like a 9.4, 9 something, 9.6 or something. But I just it's been so up and down. I guess I would just like it just to keep it for my own personal collection. And throw it
I love that book. I've had a ton. I sold buying this house. I sold a 9.8 newsstand, which was at the time easily a record, but that has been shattered. It was like $700 or $800, right? And I was just like, I don't really want to sell this, so I'll sell it for double. I'll put it up for double, and I waited forever to get a newsstand. I'll put it up for double every other one on eBay just because it's a newsstand. And I woke up and it had sold by the next morning, and I was like, that's when you know you did it wrong. You pressed it too low. You're like, son of a bitch.
I mean, I get
somebody was waiting all the years. Like I waited for this one all these years. Damn it!
And I could get a non-newsstand for like $950. Around there. $950 if I just bought one.
Is it direct that much?
Yeah.
Wow.
Skip has a valid question in the comments. I watch Giant Size X-Men like a hawk because I've got a couple of them up in higher grades, and they definitely have slipped. They're starting to bounce back. Like we're starting to see some auctions that are like holding consistent, so it's not plummeting anymore. And I think we're probably about as low as you're going to be able to get it. So right now, if you watch and you see something Heritage ending, because that seems to be where you can kind of swoop in and grab something reasonably priced, I would do so now because I have a sinking suspicion that if there's even a twinge of validity to what came out of that huge like Reddit post about all the things that are coming out of SDCC and D23, if even one aspect of that was true,
it's gonna go wild.
X-Men, it's back. Yeah, it's heading back to where it was before because now X-Men will be top of mind. It'll be the biggest mover and shaker at every single con between now and the release of the movie because it's exactly what happened with Blade. It's exactly what happened with the Fantastic Four. Is that the book slips, people start forgetting about things getting acquired in the merger. People who couldn't hold out because they can't have 10, 20 G's invested in a book for 3 to 5 years had to start selling. But yeah, I think right now is the time to get in. I think you're probably safe on it dipping down anymore because between now and either D23 or now in the first of the new year, we're going to get more and more X-Men trickle rollout, if not a major, just like, I mean, especially with how kind of hit or miss a lot of stuff that's come out of Phase 4 has been. I think D23, they're going to have like something be the big like Blade moment, mic drop type of moment. And why not go with the X-Men and still, dangle that carrot for another 6 months to a year of like anything of any merit coming out of that.
Yeah, man. X-Men. And what do you think about, since you said it about the end of Miss Marvel saying it's a mutation? Is there like, so does that mean mutant? Does that mean, I don't think they're gonna fuck with the Inhumans, even though she wasn't Inhuman basically in the comics, right?
Yeah, so a lot of people. So again, being like the TV geek, listening to a lot of podcasts who actually got a chance. Like they interviewed like directors, writers, original Kamala Khan writer who was in the room and helping guide story and stuff for the show. She always wanted Kamala to be a mutant. She couldn't because that was at that time when the decree across Marvel was we're not creating any more free content for Fox to just take away from us, because anything that was a mutant at that point immediately went over to the Fox side house. It's the reason why we stopped seeing the X-Men in video games. We stopped seeing them pushing their story narratives as much. Like that's why everybody all of a sudden became an Inhuman with the big Terrigen Mist issue.
Yeah.
So they always wanted her to be a mutant. So this is in line with what they want. But there has been rumors that, I mean, it's a known thing that Anson Mount will be in the Marvels in some capacity. Like that is a known, verifiable like leak that has come out that his character of Black Bolt will make an appearance in this Marvel. So they may get their time in the sun again, but they were always because we don't have mutants, we'll play this Inhumans game again. And then Feige got screwed over by going like Loeb had more push than he did, and so he ended up with the Inhumans as a television show. But that was always intended to be Feige's baby to introduce mutant adjacent characters, and he lost that fight internally.
Okay.
I got a little more Fun Comics 14 first Superman prototype. $607,106. And I say through in the free shipping. So October 36th. So another probably Scarce, obviously crazy Scarce book. I got Static 45 and 98. 400.
What happened to this? What happened to Static?
No, I haven't heard anything. No one's heard anything, right?
Yeah, but prices haven't dropped. I think the prices have gone up.
Yeah, but that was an announcement like 5 years ago, I feel like, or like the beginning of COVID. Like, so
yeah, I think it was what, a $300 book, $350. Now it's $500, if I remember correctly.
And this is a perfect example of that DC. Like, if that had been a Marvel announcement, that book would have done. I mean, again, not to be the homer, but that book would have been 10x before the week was out. And DC goes, "We're doing something with Static."
No one cares.
Nobody gives a shit.
Okay, here's another one. Tank Girl.
Oh God,
$797.
Damn.
Wasn't it 1,000? If I remember correctly.
That has to be low. That's a tough 98. I haven't checked the census. I know there's not.
Well, let's find
tons of them out there. Plus, they have they got cards in them. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, there's not. You're not finding too many 9/8s in a while of this book anymore.
Tank Girl number 198. It was as high as almost a $1,300 book in 2021.
Yep.
That was the average of 2021 was $1,262, and then it slipped to $1,149 for the last 12 months, and now it's down with this last sale being $798. Another example, like there was an announcement and Margot Robbie attached and wanted to do something with the character, and well, nothing else, and people can only hold on to these things for so long before you're like, you know what, I got to make some money.
Yeah. Tony dropped me on this book back in the day. Great book, hard and high grade, 298 clay face, 865. I mean, nothing to really say. It's bright colors. It looks great. Purples are real deep. So
yeah, that's a true well-known villain in the DC universe, and it's $865.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a DC problem.
I think I brought this boy up, this next book on Old School Comics with DS, World War III. So World War III, $1,000 book, roughly. Cool. I guess cool covers. They were out here. World War III ever busted out. You know, it was always the White House or whatever the Capitol in the back is. So it's a cool book. Atomic bomb covers, always collectible. DS Comics has some people. They only buy and purchase atomic covers, so it's a thing. And then rounding out, not last but not least, Tomb of Dracula 1, 8.5, $909.
Whoops, what we sell our 7.5 for? 120.
Yep.
And I think this is due to some information that leaked out as well that hasn't been confirmed yet, but we'll see what happens after Saturday. That we have our Dracula for the Blade movie cast.
Yep.
Nice. I think I'm trying to look something up here. Yeah, so they have him cast probably, right? The Dracula. Is he going to be? Could be a main Marvel villain.
Yeah, but he's probably one and done. I mean, I hate to say it, but like, if you're not a household name villain coming out, or they're not, if you didn't survive after, okay, let's see, how do I phrase this? Doom came with what their intent is, a Thanos, like those characters. I mean, technically, Ultron should have been more than a one and done, and even Ultron couldn't make it past one movie. I have very little faith that like people are going to be constantly going back to this Dracula well. It only really works with the occult characters. So unless you want to keep them constantly like chasing around Dracula, I don't see it. I don't see him having much longevity, honestly. Like,
yeah, but great, and also a great book to have is a comic collector. Period.
True.
Iconically beautiful cover, and and even though totally agree with what you just said, but like Dracula, any of the monsters, you can consider them to a degree crossover characters. You know what I mean? It's just going to appeal a little bit outside of like the more than just the movie and TV realm. So yeah, but yeah, great book. I don't know if I'm buying an 8.5 for 800, but great book.
I mean, whoever wanted that really wanted that because the 90 day on the book was 780. So
yeah,
cool. Well, that's a market report. Let's move into pickups so we can kind of wrap this boy up. I don't have anything because I just came back from vacation.
I got something.
Okay, my man Chris, he hooked me up though. We were looking at a Werewolf by Night 32 in an antique store of all places for like $1,000, and I was like,
what was the condition?
I only got to see the front of it because I didn't want to like bother the person and like take it out, and then I got to open it up and the person's not there and they're freaking out. The front cover looked great though. I mean, it was like probably like it was mid grade. It wasn't like ultra high grade, so it's probably like 5 to maybe 7 on the front. If I, and I'm not even looking at the back. So I would say if the back looked as nice as the front, I would probably say 5 to 7. But I don't know if that's I didn't get to see the page color. I didn't get to really open it up. But
I hear you.
It was a gamble. Me and Chris were talking about it. It was a gamble. I think he knew what he had because I mean, all his books were kind of eBay-ish. So I'm sure it was great. But here we go. Let's see. Since you're excited, I love when you have.
I went to I was at a toy store the other day,
okay,
and they had a sale going on. They had a ton of Masters of the Universe shit.
Wow!
Look at this. We got a Masters of the Universe Nightlight. This thing is hard as hell to come by, just because loose ones. So I got this for I think 50. Loose ones are going for 30. So we got this thing still in the package. Very happy about that.
Oh wait, the plug sticks out the back?
Yeah.
So you could just.
It works. It still works.
It works? Okay, because I was going to say, why isn't that in your wall already?
I know, right?
It would be in my wall.
I'm storing it away.
I got you.
Yeah, we got the Nightlight. We got Masters of the Universe
album
picture disc. It's actually
Toys R Us tag.
Yeah, it's a record that actually plays, but it has cool art on it, and this is from 1983.
Wow, I buy that too. That's cool.
How gorgeous is this? So I think I believe this was like 30. No, I think about $40. Still sealed up. Beautiful art. This is some gorgeous old school. Old school.
Sucker for price tags.
I would definitely wear it as a T-shirt.
Super freaking cool.
Like a T-shirt, that whole logo with the image on a T-shirt would be dope.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. That's with the battle axe. And you know what? How come they didn't stick with that hair?
Right.
A little more Conan hair, right?
Yeah. And we got the big boy here. Oh my gosh, check this out. We have the Masters of the Universe Battle for Eternia game from 1985.
Man, you know Skeletor's telling them kids some shady shit how to play the game, man.
Right? He's telling
For
them
sure.
all the wrong shit. But it's like I kind of remembered this from back in the day. So this is you could actually swap out the pieces of the board game and you can just put in your actual figures. So I kind of remembered this.
What'd you pay for it?
Dude, that is clean.
Oh gosh, I think I paid like maybe $160 for this.
That is clean, though.
Well worth it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, and okay, so when I came across this, like I hadn't seen this in so long, I thought this was like, because if you look at the graphics and how clean it is and how just new it is, I'm just thinking, oh, it's like some kind of retro packaging or something like that. But nah, it's 1985.
Yeah, that's the only because it looks so friggin' clean. That's why I was like, wait, that's the original game. Right?
Yeah, this is the original. I'm like,
yeah, that looks case fresh.
Oh shit, yeah.
with
another price tag.
Price tag on the.
Did you tell this guy like, yo, I'll take everything you fucking have? I'm sure he has.
You know what? I was spending so much. I'm like, let me stick with these and be happy. And the sale is still going on at that store, so you know,
I got you.
We might head back. So
okay,
nice.
That's what I got.
My man. Okay, cool. Anybody else this week? I know. We're us as bottom two are on vacation.
I got some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some junk too. So
sweet.
This stuff has been at my buddy's place because I ship everything across the border. That's one of the downsides of when I finally moved back to Atlanta is that I lose the ability to buy shit tax free. But again, not a card dude, but I've been grabbing up these like Marvel cards. So the Marvel Superhero series from 1984, Gem Mint 10-0.
That's super cool.
The giant size. Again, I just buy things that coincide with like my favorite comics.
Yeah,
collection. 10-0 also. Perfect 10 in the FF1. And then from the 1990 series, this Stan Lee card, Gem Mint 10.
Yeah,
nice.
Does that come down from the COVID mania of that?
That's a little bit. It's like, you know, I got it on an auction, but yeah, it still was like a $400 card on auction. Yeah. As far as slabs are concerned, again, I am a believer in Justin Hammer. So again, more Justin Hammer related copies, 9.4 white pages, possibly a resubmit, but I probably wouldn't have it back in time before Armor Wars or Ironheart, depending on where he makes his return appearance. Got this from a Canadian shop, so this is $350 CAD, not US. Also 9.6 white pages. And the piece they resist on. So in the pregame show, I was talking about this last week with Dino. Somebody put up a book, and he told me to make a lowball offer, and they met me in the middle.
Oh,
let's
X-Men
go.
1, 5.5, no marble chipping, off white to white pages. So this, I'm back up to having 3 of these bad boys. So 3 of these, 3 giant size. So when Marvel finally does something with the X-Men, we'll be doing some deals. You get you a giant size, you get you an X-Men 1, and we'll send them out pairs. So
I like it.
That's it for my stuff. I'm gonna be looking to sell at Comic-Con.
Sick. Mr. Rick.
Well, I can tell you I don't have anything that spectacular.
No, it's okay.
So we're going Halloween in July theme tonight.
Okay.
So this first book is a variant that someone on here bought. I don't remember who it was, showed it off. And as soon as I seen it, I tried to find it. eBay had one, but it was very fine, had some dings and whatnot. So I finally waited around till one popped up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Sabrina Teenage Witch, number 5. It's a trick or treat cover. Pretty cool.
Cool.
And then this book, Stranger Things. It is a Halloween special. It's a one shot.
Nice.
Cool.
Pretty neat.
Cool stuff.
Usually by raw stuff, but it was cheap enough. Had to get it. So next thing is TikTok Tales number 27.
I like that cover.
It's from 1950. It's actually a reprint. Number 23 is the same cover as 1947, a couple of years earlier, and they just decided to reuse the art. Pretty rare book. I found a Golden Age website where you can go through this guy's Excel spreadsheet that he has formatted as a website, and you have to email him. And it's pretty old school, but he had so much stuff that I didn't have. So another rare Golden Age book, Spooky Mysteries number 1.
Very nice.
Kind of neat. It has has Hitler's tombstone there. Where is Hitler buried? Kind of a subtle thing. And then the big boy. There's 2 of these on the census. From what I've been told, this is the second appearance of a pumpkin on a comic book. It's from 1937.
Wait, is that a character or a pumpkin?
Just a pumpkin on the cover. It's my weird obsession. This is Ace Comics 20. Supposedly Ace Comics number 7 is the first appearance of a pumpkin on a comic. But that one's impossible to find. So
you said Ace Comics 7 is a hard one to find.
Yeah. Good luck finding it. It doesn't have 2 hole punches, so I don't know what CGC would give me for that. But it's so rare that I didn't even care.
Yeah, irrelevant.
So yeah, that's the junk that I got over the last 2 weeks.
Should I show it off to everybody so everybody can see Ace? Oh god, I don't
I don't even know
what this sold for because it's on our favorite little I'll sign in.
A little original artwork to coincide with your comic action.
Yeah, what do we think, boys? $8 million. $2,270 back in 2007. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's probably close to 20 now.
Yeah. That's back when people didn't know any better and the market was down.
Yeah. But cool.
Yeah, fun fact.
Wow.
First appearance of a pumpkin.
Okay. I will be on the lookout for this one too. I'm still trying to find your other magazine there.
Yeah. So. I like everything that people don't. So
I will not quit. I will not quit for you. So
I appreciate that.
That's what I do for you. Cool. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice?
I got nothing.
Okay, cool. Me too. I'm out of the game for a little bit, boys. Busy July for me. So
I hears you.
I'll have a plethora of shit on Monday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'll be wondering why I bought half of it, but whatever.
I hopefully will be much lighter come Monday.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this before we kind of wrap it up. Chris, since you worked here, do you really buy anything? I mean, I know you're there to kind of sell, but are you like, oh, I'm going to buy some stuff? I mean,
so basically, I've gotten in the habit, like the very first couple of years I was going, I was just kind of like, it's a whirlwind experience. And then last time we did San Diego Comic-Con, I ran to Leg pretty much immediately and just started following him around and buying all the shit that he was buying.
That's a smart buy.
And turned a solid profit. And this year, unfortunately, preview night, I'm working the entirety of preview night. So I start my shift at 3 in the afternoon and I go until 9 p.m. to close things out. So I'm going to basically not be able to hit the floor. So I basically told Leg, I was like, I'm just going to hand you like a grip of cash. Buy me whatever you buy.
Yeah, well, we got to work. We should work on some sort of hit list with whoever's going. Also, you know what I mean. Especially on preview night, man. You're low on time, so you kind of run and try to make those purchases the best you can. But also because it's preview night, you get to the booth, and there's no guarantee that they're dropping any of their exclusives on preview night. Or they're only selling 5 or 10, depending on what the hell it is. Maybe a skateboard, comic, whatever. And then you got to try to get there as early as you can on Thursday to go to all the places that wouldn't sell you the crap, or they sold their allocation before you made that booth. So it is, but preview night's always traditionally been the best. So I'm excited about that. And then if I get a bunch of that shit out of the way, you explore more and enjoy more of the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Enjoy looking at the stuff that you had no idea was going to be there, rather than trying to buy stuff you came to buy. So
yeah. Oh, also in that same vein, so it does pay off to go to the breakout sessions, like, comic book related breakout sessions. The reason being is because there will be exclusives a lot of times that will be given out in those breakout sessions. Like it's like that SDCC variant from years ago that was the Sailor Moon copy that was given out in a breakout session. Like you were in the room and they started handing those out to people, for showing up to the session. The Shattered Grid variant that came out a couple years back for the Power Rangers, that was a giveaway if you were in the room, for them talking about, their new big upcoming Power Rangers crossover event. So it does pay off to be in those rooms because you will get access to things that will not show up anywhere else. If you make it into Hall H, everybody left there with like an Infinity Stone, type of like a ticket to go pick up an Infinity Stone related type of card based thing that they had, and you got a Black Widow exclusive hat for being in the room. And I sold both of them bitches together as a set for like $500. So yeah, it's, if you can't necessarily get everything on the floor, still go to breakout sessions, use time during the day wisely, because you still may run across an exclusive that was just because you were in the room, they handed it out. So
damn.
Cool. And on that note, we'll check everybody later. I got a Comic Shop Talk episode to drop this week. I got the Nerd Bird Market Report coming too. Hopefully the VHS show's back in schedule, since our lovely queen has returned hopefully from vacation. And we'll check everybody later. So I appreciate it. Next week will be SDCC review. So we'll check everybody later, and we're out.